Okay, third time's a charm, everybody. So sorry about that. I went ahead and created a new feed. So I'm going to go ahead and just go from where I left off. Okay, so anyways, um, okay, so there's a couple of reasons why you would boost a post. Um, so I'm going to kind of just go through some of the differences between boosting a post and actually creating um, ads from scratch. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take you to my Facebook page, my events page, Sky City Audio. So that's my DJ business. So I'm going to show you just a couple of reasons why you would boost a post versus actually creating um, an ad from scratch. So let's say you get an ad, or let's say you get a post that is getting a lot of engagement. Like I think this one had a decent amount. I think there was another one. Okay, so this one was organic. This was a Facebook Live that we did. So I'm just gonna show you. So if I boost this post, so one of the biggest reasons why I would actually boost a post is to get even more engagement and get people more aware of your brand. Um, there's a couple of reasons why I wouldn't use this, and one of the big reasons why you can only set a duration. You have to set a duration and you have to give it an end date. And I like to run ads where there's no end date because what you can actually do is go through and optimize your ad over time. And so over time, your ads would actually get better. But in this case, I want to bring people to get more people aware of my brand. So what I might do is I might boost this post because we had a lot of engagement on this one. So I might boost it for like a week to get people to my page, and then what you could do from there is then you can actually market to them on a separate section, which I'll kind of go through and show you. So so that would be one of the biggest reasons. If you're trying to generate more leads, more cold leads from Facebook, I would definitely recommend not going this route because and I'll show you why in just a second. But um, in fact, let me just go through. So we're going to cancel this ad. So okay, so that's one way you can kind of get started with Facebook ads if you're not super familiar with it. So you can boost a post to kind of get people uh, more aware of your brand, and that's what I would use it for. Or if you have a video that you want to get more engagement on, you can also use the boost post feature. Um, so that would be my recommendation on that. Um, if you go to Business Manager, Sky City Audio, so that's my company. So this is what the ads manager looks like if you're not familiar with that. So I'll kind of show you, I'll kind of walk you through a couple of things. So this is what it actually looks like. So it gives you a little bit more analytics and gives you more information about how your ads are actually performing. So you can set your budget. You can see how many people clicked on it. This is an ad that I'm currently running right now. I just launched this about 4 days ago, I want to say. So you can set budget, you can set all your targeting, and so it gives you a lot more information than just boosting your post. So what's cool about this presentation is that I'm going to actually show you how to set up an ad and get everything kind of an idea for you and how to structure your ads. So let me just go and see. Just going to check in with you all. Okay, just checking to see you guys are still here. Okay, cool. You're back. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. Okay, so business manager. So first thing you want to make sure that you have a business page, because you won't have access to this unless you have a business page. So even if your page is brand new, you can still run ads from there. So once you get your ad set up and you get your payment method on there, then you can actually start creating your ads. But before you actually create your ad, I would recommend setting up. It's called a Facebook Pixel, and what that does is that it's a set of code that Facebook gives you for free, that you put onto your website that will actually track traffic to your website. And what you can do with that is that you can actually then remarket back to people when they go back to Facebook. So let's say you're setting up an ad and you're sending them to your website. When they land on your page, Facebook tracked that they landed on your page. So then if they leave for any reason without filling out a form or giving you a call, they'll go back to Facebook and you can run more ads because they recently were on your website. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like super quick. So I'm going to just go to my website, just my back end. So I use Squarespace because I really like how their templates look and it's really user friendly. Let's try that again. All right, well, let me pull up Google Chrome because it doesn't seem to be working. So let's see, Squarespace. Ah, there we go. Okay, so let me just log in. Okay. Okay, so Squarespace seems to be having some issues, so we'll come back to that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time actually creating an ad and just kind of show you what my process is, kind of give you some ideas on how to target the right customers. So we'll go ahead and just dive right into there. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a brand new campaign. I'm going to totally start over. So I'll show you some of the ones that I typically use. I don't normally use brand awareness. I don't use reach because I want to be able to generate results and generate more leads, because those two kind of just drive traffic to your Facebook page. And the goal on those really is to get people to like your page. I don't necessarily like that because it doesn't really result in any sort of leads or interaction with potential customers. So I like to use traffic. I like to use lead generation, messages, and conversion. So those are the ones I typically use, and I'll kind of rotate them. And I'll test new ads with some of these. So what I was actually going to do was set up a conversion. Actually, no, I'm going to set up a messages ad. So I'm just going to put, so my niche is in weddings. We do mostly weddings. So I'm going to just put wedding DJ messenger. So what you could do is you could create two different ads with this A/B test. If you wanted to test two or three different ads, you could do that. But for the sake of just showing you guys just this platform, I'm gonna not do that. Campaign budget optimization. What you can do is you can set how much Facebook will spend per click. So if you have If you run an ad and someone clicks on your ad and they fill out all your questions, but it costs you, let's just say it costs you $20, and you want to actually not go that high. If you would rather them spend $10, what they'll do is they'll put a limit on your ad. And so that's basically what that's for. I don't normally do that. So okay, so for me, I want to have them send to Messenger. And what's cool about that is that when you keep your ads on the Facebook platform, it actually costs less than if you were to send it to your website. So you're actually keeping your clients all on the Facebook platform. So it's a lot. It ends up being a lot cheaper. So just gonna come in and check here, check the comments, make sure I'm still live. So if you guys can hear me, go ahead and hit like on the presentation, and I'll keep going. Just want to make sure I'm still good. So, okay, so now we're going to move to location. So for me, I usually click out of the country and I target based on my location. So for me, it's Prescott, Arizona, but my county is Yavapai County. So there's some venues that are kind of spread around my area. I'm in a rural area, so that's why I usually target county versus the individual towns, because I get a little bit more reach that way. So I'm just going to do Yavapai County. We also go to Flagstaff, Arizona. We also do Sedona. So we travel, and then we do the Phoenix area. I usually do, because Phoenix is such a big area, I usually do their county. So Phoenix area is Maricopa County. So that's what I usually stick with. So we zoom in, kind of show you my area. Okay, so this has a little bit of an overlap. So what you can do is you can change how the radius. So right now it's a 25-mile radius, and we're actually overlapping with Yavapai County. So what you want to be careful is if you're targeting different areas, you want to make sure that they're not overlapping, because your ads could compete with each other. So I usually try to reduce this to try to at least get that reduced as much as I can. And then you can kind of move this a little bit. So Sedona. Okay, I can probably bring it up a little bit. So let's just say 15 miles for Sedona. Okay, so there we go. So Flagstaff, Sedona. And I want to make sure that they're not overlapping. So what's important here is that you're selecting all your targeting. So you want to make sure you have a clear understanding on who your target customer is. So for me, it could be people living in or recently in this location. For me, we get a lot of people come from out of town. The Prescott area is kind of a destination wedding location. So Lorna says, can you tell us what to do step by step? For example, first do this, then do. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, okay. So let me back up. Okay, so step one, I would click messages. So you can title it. So for me, it's DJ. Okay. Step two, we want to go through and pick our location. So Yavapai County, Sedona. Flagstaff. Okay, and then you want to select your radius. So you don't want them to overlap with each other. So I just put 10 miles. Probably go a little bit more. So yeah, you don't want your locations to overlap. And then Maricopa County. So Maricopa County is in Phoenix area. So this part is just part of who you're targeting and the locations that you're targeting. So once you have your locations, the next step is to figure out an age. So for me, it's people that are 25 to 37 is what I usually target. So you would just select that based on who you normally work with. So for me, it's weddings. So we work with a lot of younger couples. So for us, it's ages 25 to 37. And then the next step, I just keep it all genders. And then this is where you really kind of nail down your targeting. So what's cool about this is that you can target your audience to that like certain pages. So for example, if a bride is likes The Knot or Wedding Wire or David's Bridal on Facebook, if they've liked those pages, you can use that as part of your targeting. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like. So you want to add demographics, interests, and behaviors. So Lisa asked why younger couples. The reason why I'm targeting younger couples is because about 90% of the clients that book me are between those age ranges, and so so that is my target client. And not to say that I don't book anybody that's outside of those age ranges, but typically on average about 90% of our customers are between those ages, so we really want to put our ads in front of the people that would most likely book our services. So not sure what industry you're in. Lisa, maybe you can drop it in the comments and I can always answer your question. But for me, it's that age range, and so I want to try to send my ad to those age ranges. So hopefully that answered your question. So okay, so I'll kind of show you. So David's Bridal. So you want to target interest. So if people are interested in David's Bridal, so The Knot, and then Wedding Wire. So I'll kind of go through and show you. You can also target if you're in the wedding industry, you can target people that are newly engaged. So I usually like to do that. So that's part of your demographics. So newly engaged 1 year, newly engaged 6 months, newly engaged 3 months. Okay. So hopefully this is making sense so far. Right now we're trying to set up our ads to get it in front of people that would most likely book your service. So I'll kind of just show you what this looks like. So there's suggestions. There's people who are engaged as their relationship status. So that might be a good one. Bridal registry. There's also Bride magazine. So we can continue to narrow down our audience a little bit more. Okay, so Lisa, you're an accredited event designer, room draping and tablescapes. I also do corporate events full time. Yeah, so sounds like you might do a lot of weddings. I would just say think about who your customers are, and you can actually find your targeting all within here. So if you don't really have an idea, you can go through and browse. So you can browse your demographics. So if you work with people maybe that are, maybe like CEOs or let's see what else, promoters. So if they're putting together a corporate event, you can kind of go through and you might be able to target by financial. You could also target by their work. So work, job titles. You can search for job titles. So you can put CEO or let's see, promoter or event manager. So yeah, so that kind of helps you with your targeting a little bit. So if you're not really sure where to start, you can browse different ones and choose the ones that would be relevant to your ad. So once you get a few of them on there, the suggestions portion really does help you with narrowing it down a little bit more. So I'll probably just leave it like this for now. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure there's no more questions on that. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so next step, this is detailed targeting expansion. So that's detailed targeting expansion lets us show your ads to more people, which may help you reach your optimization goals. So they might take what you've already put in here and maybe send it to some of their friends that are more likely to also get married. Maybe they haven't updated their status, or maybe they don't fall into one of these categories. But Facebook will try to guess as to who will actually more likely click on your ad. And I use this sometimes, but in this case, I really want to have the specific targeted audience for this. So for now, I'm just going to click, I'm not going to click that. So also too, you can also narrow down by language and connections. So this is like apps, your page, so people already like your page. I just keep these the same. And then you can do manual placement. So this is where Facebook's going to send your ads to. So you can have them sent to people's messenger. You can have Facebook stories. They also link with Instagram, so you can have it set up to go to Instagram stories, Instagram newsfeed. So this is what that automatic placement is. That Facebook will just send it to every spot on the Facebook or Instagram platform, and try to get it in front of more people. If you don't necessarily want that, you can choose manual placement, and you can go through and choose where you want your ads. So there's Facebook, like I said, newsfeed, Instagram feed, marketplace, Messenger, which I'll show you. We'll be setting that one up too. Stories, Instagram stories, Messenger stories. So these are all the different ones. So if you make a specific ad and you only want it to go to a certain spot, for example, if you only want it to show on Facebook newsfeed, you could click manual placement, click everything off, and just keep Facebook, and then just uncheck everything but Facebook newsfeed. But for this instant, I like to use automatic placements. So bid control. So that's kind of what I was talking about. So this is the next step. So Facebook will aim to spend your entire budget and get the most replies using the lowest cost bid strategy. So what that means is if you like, let's say you want to only spend $10 per lead per click. If it goes over that, then Facebook might not deliver your ads for that day. So, but if you know typically how much it costs per click that you get or per lead that you get, then you can put a limit on there. So typically in the events industry, I've seen anywhere from $20 to $50 per lead. So you could put something like that. But for the sake of just kind of getting to know how Facebook ads work, I just keep this as 0, and then Facebook will actually choose your bid. So and then I like to normally spend at least 25 a day. So this is one of the things that I struggled with when I first started running Facebook ads is I kind of saw that as the amount of money that I would spend versus that's the amount of money that I'm putting toward an investment. And when I kind of switched my mindset to saying that it's more of an investment versus a cost, then my ads became a little bit more effective. What I mean by that is if you're only putting $5 a day, for example, you might not get as many leads, or you might not have your ads put in front of as many people as you could. So when I spend at least 25 a day, your ad will get in front of more people, and you're likely to get more traffic to either your website or more traffic to your messenger. So I kind of just look at that as an investment. So so if I spend $175 this week, but I get one person that actually booked with me, my average price is $1,500. So even if I spend $175, if I get somebody to book that week, then my gross revenue for that would be $1,500 minus that ad spend. So hopefully that made sense. You can always message me if you do have more questions about that. But I usually recommend when I work with clients to not spend anything less than 25. I usually start off with $25 as you're testing more ads. But once you've figured out an ad that's really working, then that's when you can start to increase your budget. Typically, once I find an ad that works, I'll increase it to $50 a day, maybe $75 a day if it's really working well. But 25 is kind of the sweet spot, to start it. So, so if you're willing to put a little bit of money toward it, then you'll be able to continue to optimize your ad, and it'll get better over time, and your ads will get more effective, and you will generate some leads off of those. So that's kind of an important piece there. So there's a couple of things that I don't normally pay attention to. So Facebook's telling me that my ad set may get 0 replies, which in my experience with doing these ads, that is not the case. I still get people messaging me. I still get replies. They're just saying that you should fix your targeting, which I don't normally do. So you're still reaching anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 people. So you're likely to get people to your ad. So Rochelle, how do you set up a website link through Facebook? So that is going to be through your traffic ads, and there's a spot to input your link. So for this ad, I decided to set up a messenger ad. So I'm sending people directly to a messenger bot, so that's kind of what I'm showing you. But you can also set up an ad to go to a landing page. So it's all under the actual ad. So Rochelle, if you want, I can walk you through that. I'd be happy to walk you through that. If you want to message me at at the very end, I can show you how to do that. So Okay, so let's move on. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. Awesome. Okay, so go ahead and move on. Okay, so next step, you'll hit continue. So, okay, so now you want to give your ad a name. So I'm using a video. And then make sure you, if you've got multiple pages, make sure you select the right page. So for me, Sky City Audio, that's my company. So what's cool about this now is that you can link your both your Facebook page and your Instagram page. You can do that all through Instagram. You can link it to your Facebook page. So once you've done that, you can actually run ads on both platforms. So we're going to create an ad. I don't want to use an existing post. I actually want to create a new ad. So far, so good. Lisa says, so far, so good. Marissa, we are good. Okay, awesome. So I'll continue to check in. If you've got questions, shoot away, and I can stop and answer your questions. But in the meantime, we'll continue. Okay. So next up, you want to add your media. So I would recommend if you're using a video, this is where you can upload a video. If you're using pictures, I would highly recommend finding pictures that have maybe a close-up of people's faces, because people are more likely to stop and see and actually look at your ad when there's close-ups of people's faces, maybe people smiling, maybe people that were at an event. So I would recommend finding something kind of like that, and I can show you some examples. So here's an ad that I'm running. This is an ad that I launched just last week. Okay, so I used this image. This was a wedding that we did last year. If I can get a better close-up of that. Let me see if I can zoom in. So when you actually see it on the mobile news feed, it kind of catches people's attention because you see faces, people are smiling. It's a close-up. It's got colors that kind of pop, so that's when you're selecting photos, you want to find pictures that that kind of pop. Like I said, smiling faces. um, if you're an event planner, I would recommend using maybe like a headshot. There's another ad that we use the headshot. Headshots work really well because they're close-ups of your face. People just stop and look at those a little bit better than if you were to just use a stock photo. So find some smiling faces. A video, like a short, like 30-second video, a headshot if it's just you, or maybe a shot of a picture of like your whole team. If you've got a team of professionals, something like that always works really well. It's always worked well for both Sky City Audio, my company, and my other marketing company. Whenever we've ran ads for people, we always use headshots, and it always works a lot better than using photos of, for example, like my DJ setup, or like, that's just an example. Or if you're a florist, like pictures of your flowers. You might want to use something that's got more faces on it. So let's see here. So let me go back to my ad here. Oh, good. I'm I'm glad you're a little less stressed, Rochelle. I'm definitely want to help you out. So if you have any questions, like I said, reach out to me and I'd be happy to go over that with you. Okay, so now back to our ad. So I'm going to add a video. So, okay, so you click on add media. Under media, click add media. This is where you can add your image or add a video. So in this case, I'm going to add a video. And because it's not on here, I'm just going to hit upload, recent. So you just find your file. Okay, so while that's loading, we'll get to go through and actually add our messaging. Yeah, so I'm actually recording this video. So I can always send it to anybody who's got some questions or who like to watch it again. Let me just make sure it's recording. Yep, it's recording. Okay, yeah, so I can send it to you. I can make it available to anybody who wants to watch it. It'll probably be available also on this page, on this group. So you can watch it either on this group or you could reach out to me and I can send you the video. So, okay, so anywhere, so here's the next part. So the next part is you want to add some words that that basically like you're talking to your customer versus talking about your business. So for example, instead of saying we will pack your dance floor, you want to say something like you're going to have an amazing time because your dance floor is going to be packed the entire night. You know, so you want to choose some words. So instead of saying we, you want to use the word you more, because when somebody sees it, it's almost like you're talking to them. You know, and whenever I create any sort of text, basically we try to uncover a pain point and then also offer a solution. You know, so for example, here's what my ad's going to say. Share my screen again. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, this primary text here. Okay, so Lorna says it'll also be available on the YouTube page too for replay. So well, that's awesome. Okay. I personally, just a tip, I like to write out what my ad's gonna say on something separate than what's on here, because if I had a nickel for every time I wrote it out on here and then something happened and I couldn't finish it and it just wipes it out and have to start over, I I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. So just a word of advice, I would definitely go through and write your ad on something else. So I usually use MacBook's notepad feature. So this is kind of what I was talking about. So you start off with something that's going to catch somebody's eye. So I like to use emojis, because as people are scrolling through their phones and they see it, they'll stop because it's kind of just kind of pops out at you. You know, it's very eye catching. It's very colorful. So it kind of gets them to stop to actually read what you're saying. So the pain point is on this ad. So I'll just read it to you. Do you ever just sit there and daydream about your wedding, the most perfect day? You know exactly how you want your ceremony to go, and you play that in your head over and over again. You keep thinking about how amazing your pictures are going to look. You also already know what your first dance is, maybe. What about the party, though? You're about to put a ton of work into this, and choosing the wrong DJ could ruin everything you've worked for. That's why hundreds of couples have put their trust in us. You will get access to the most unique system that couples rave over and have been proven to create the most epic parties ever. So let me ask you a question. Do you want to settle or do you want epic? I think I know what the answer is. So if you want the best, message us now to get started. So basically, we've uncovered a pain point. We've uncovered that they've worked really hard on planning their whole entire wedding, and the problem is, you know, that whole thing could get ruined with a bad DJ. So the solution is hiring us for their wedding. So basically, I try to structure it in a way where we're talking to them, uncovering the pain point, and the solution to that and the benefit is working with us. So when you're creating your ads, you want to make sure you you create something that's going to uncover the pain point and offer the solution, and also get people to actually want to click on your ad. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste that over to here. Thank you. Rochelle says, great content. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. I don't get to do this very often, so I hope that I'm making sense. Okay, so it looks like my video is all uploaded. Okay. So yeah, you can kind of see what your ad looks like now. So copy and paste. I like to space things out because it's easier to read. If it's all one big giant paragraph, people don't really want to read it. So that's why, if you notice, I space things out. Even if it's like one sentence at a time, people are more likely to actually read it if it's smaller sentences. So, but yeah, you can kind of see the different placement. Make sure it all looks good. So this would be like Messenger, Marketplace, desktop, Marketplace. Some of these you won't be able to see. Instagram stories, desktop newsfeed. So yeah, so that's how the ad is looking so far. So you got your hook. I call it a hook story offer. I learned that from a really big marketer, really smart, really successful company. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's called ClickFunnels, and he always talks about your hook, your story, and your offer. So this would be your hook. A story would be more of what your messaging is, and your offer would be to send me a message. Okay, so just looking some of the comments. So okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So if this is making sense so far, give me a thumbs up in the comments. Okay, so that's part of the post. So now what we want to do is we want to have our call to action, which is part of the headline. So this is basically this part right here. Cool, we got some thumbs up. Hi, Sharon. Got some thumbs up from Rochelle. Okay, so we want to create a call to action. So I always like to put something like, so the other ad that I put, don't hire a bad DJ. So you could do something like that, or depending on your industry, if you're a florist, you could put get the most fresh flowers for your events, or if you're let's just say you're an event planner, you could say have peace of mind when hiring us, or something like that. So in this case, I'm going to put best wedding ever. And then you could put, so that's basically the main headline. So I want to put some stuff that pops. So let's do that. And then under the description, this is sort of an optional thing. The headline I like to keep short. The description is going to be shown under here. So you put hire the best DJs in Easy. So something like that. And it should show up under there too. I think I want to change that. Say something different. Okay, so okay. that's one I didn't really have ready to go. I kind of wanted to do that one on the fly. So award-winning DJ. Okay, so now your call to action. I like to keep send a message because I'm sending them to my messenger on my Facebook page. So I'm going to leave that. So the next step, if you're doing this type of ad, when people actually click on your ad, it's going to take them to your messenger on your business page. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that before when you're scrolling through and you click on somebody's ad and it takes you to the messenger. So that's what I'm setting up is I'm sending them to my messenger page to start talking with them about their wedding. So yeah, so the next step, if this is the ad that you're setting up, you want to actually set up some questions. So please let us know how we can help you. I'm going to change that to thank you so much for getting in touch with us. And that's the other thing too. When you type, Facebook, it's very slow to load. So you have to kind of be patient with it. So thank you so much for getting in touch with us. We are excited to chat with you about your wedding. Okay, chat with you. Please choose one of the following. So what I'm doing is I want to try to keep as little steps as I can to anybody who's now in this messenger because I want to be able to start talking to them and asking them questions more about their event. A lot of times, if you have a lot of steps or a lot of questions, people are less likely to finish those questions, and potentially you might lose them as a lead. So I personally like to keep things simple. And then when they start interacting with it, then that's when I take over and start asking them questions. And then I go through and then I offer to schedule a call to go over, wedding packages and things like that. Okay, okay, I'm just gonna keep it simple. Okay. Thank you so much for getting in touch with us. We are excited to chat with you. Okay, so first question is I want to put how much. Oh, wait. Okay, so I'm going to put are you available for my wedding? Okay, so that's the first question. And you can put an answer to this question, but I want to leave it blank because when someone starts to chat with me, I want to go through and actually talk to them. How much? So you could put what are your how much? Um, what are your what are your packages? What are your packages? Okay. So I might even just keep it those two. Are you available for my wedding? What are your packages? Those are the top two questions that I get when somebody contacts me. So I'll probably just leave it at that. Save and finish. Okay, so I've now created, when somebody actually clicks on my messenger ad, it'll take them to this. Then they just select one. And then I get a notification on my phone that somebody clicked on it. And then I can start chatting with them. So that's the easiest way to get a lead. You don't have to have a landing page. You don't have to have a website. You don't have to send them to your website. This is the easiest way to track it too. So you know how much, what your return on investment is on your ad. So it's just the easiest way to get started. Facebook Pixel. Okay, so we've gone through everything with your ad. Okay, so just to recap, the campaign is we set up messages. Then we selected our targeting. So we're sending them to Facebook Messenger. So we set up our targeting. So the area, interests, demographics, life events. We're telling Facebook where to put our ads. We're also setting a budget for our ads. So this is a daily budget. Then we've gone through and actually created the ad copy, the media, messaging. So we've created that. Then we've also created the questions when somebody clicks on the ad. So now that we're done with that, we hit confirm. Okay, so at the very end, so basically you're uploading it. There is a period of time that Facebook actually has to approve it. So Facebook has to make sure that your ad that you set up is within their standards. So as long as you follow their standards, which events industry, it's very easy to set up an ad because you're not a realtor where you have to worry about discriminating against you're not offering loans or credit repair. That's typically when you really need to be careful. But in the events industry, ads are very easy to create. So usually the review time can be up to 24 hours, maybe a little bit more if it's on a weekend. If you have an established ad and you've been using the ads manager for a long time, for me, I usually get ads approved within a couple of hours, just because I've used ads for the last few years. But if you haven't set up a page and your ad account is brand new, it might take 24 hours for it to get approved. So so that would be something that I would recommend. Just be patient. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for that to actually get approved. So the last thing I wanted to go over is the Facebook Pixel. So I tried to go on there. Squarespace wasn't working. Let's see if I can go on there. Unfortunately, we may not be able to go over that today if Squarespace isn't working, because I want to show you how we load it. Okay. All right, well, let me at least show you where to go to set up your pixel. So let me just pull up the ads. So basically, for those of you that didn't get to hear what the Facebook pixel is, what that actually is a set of code that Facebook's going to give you to put on the header of your website if you're the one that actually edits your website. And what that does is, as people go onto your website, Facebook tracks that data, that information, and gives it to you, so then you can actually put ads in front of them because they visited your website. So that's another valuable tool, is you can set up a separate ad specifically for people that had clicked on your website within the last 30, 60, 120 days. I think you can even go a little bit farther. But that's also another great tool to be able to market to people who had recently visited your website. So business settings. Now, bear with me. I haven't done the Facebook pixel in a little while. So if I can't find it, I could always do a separate video and send it to you guys. Okay, so here it is. So when you go to Ads Manager, here, I'll walk you through it from the beginning. If I go to Facebook, okay, so this is the main screen that you see. Find your business page. Okay, so I'm doing it for Sky City Audio. Actually, sorry. Click the little arrow, find your company. So then it's going to take you to your Ads Manager. So then you just click on that. Then it'll show you your ads. Rochelle asks, no, I wouldn't charge for that. I would just show you how to do that. In fact, I can do it right now if you guys got some time. Okay, so then you click on this tab here. I like to expand it. And then under Analyze and Report, it's going to be under Analytics. So keep in mind, if you're familiar with Google, it's kind of like Google's Google Analytics. If you're familiar with that, it's another website tracking. So this is so it's tracking my website traffic. So Sky City Audio's pixel. Okay, so I will have to make a separate video on that just because Facebook had recently updated their manager. So I'll do that. I'll make a separate page, a separate video, and I can send it to Lorna and have her upload it onto the group. So anyway, so hopefully that made sense. Just kind of going through the ads, figuring out your targeting. There's like an endless possibility, endless amount of things you can do with your ads. So hopefully that all made sense. So I'm going to go ahead and open up for questions. So yeah, there's no charge to set up a pixel. You just go on there. And like I said, I'll do another video to show you how to do it, but there's no charge to actually set it up. So Facebook gives that to you for free. And then once you do that, you just install it onto your website, and then you can start tracking your data. Does anybody else have any other questions that I can answer for you? Vanessa, you gave the thumbs up. That's awesome. And if you see me looking to the side, I'm answering the questions on my other computer. All right, so you got one last thing. So, so as you know, Lorna mentioned that I also run a company called Steady Leads. We do Facebook marketing for event professionals. We also work in a couple of other niches. And so what I wanted to offer, I wanted to give you guys something, you know, for giving me the opportunity to help you with going over your ads. Normally what we do is we do an onboarding call with all of our clients to kind of help with, you know, setting up your ads and figuring out your targeting and everything. And I want to offer you guys a free 30-minute session to help you kind of get more clarity on your targeting. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put in the chat a place for you to schedule a call for me. There's a couple of questions, and there's no right or wrong answer for the questions, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat. And if you do have if you'd like to schedule a call with me, I can go ahead and walk you through some of the, you know, the Facebook pixel. You know, we can talk about your ads, help you get clarity on your targeting, you know, and just kind of some messaging. So I will do that. Let me go ahead and put a link on there. Okay. Okay, so I posted in the chat a link to schedule a call with me. So I'm offering a free 30-minute strategy session to kind of help you with getting started. So whether or not you work with me, I would love to just sit down and talk with you, learn about your business, help you with that. Julia, absolutely glad to help you. There's more comments, definitely be interested. Tawanda, yes, absolutely, I'd love to sit down with you, you know, if you got some time. Trying to see if I can look at any more questions. All right, I'm going to go into, give me 1 second while I'm waiting for more questions to come in. I'm just going to look on my phone to see if I can scroll back. Okay. All right, so does anybody have any other questions? Oh, hey, you're new to the group. That's awesome. Gladys, Belize, sorry if I butchered that. I'm so sorry. Welcome to the group. All right, well, so the other thing too, the last thing I would just kind of want to end with this. First of all, I just want to say thank you for your time and for spending this time learning about Facebook ads. I'm going to stick around on Messenger. Just feel free to message me with your questions. I'm going to basically be here as long as I get messages. So if you wanted to schedule a call, we'll spend some time together. Or if you'd like to just get some general info, some questions about the ads, whatever we talked about, just send me a message on here, and I'll stick around and answer all your questions. So again, Lorna, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to spend some time with your group. Hopefully this has been helpful, and I appreciate all of you. And again, if you need some help, just reach out. And Lorna and the whole group, I'll talk to you soon. So thank you guys again so much.